Joining us to have a conversation virtually this morning is Adeniyi Ifetayo. He is a media analyst. We'll be talking about some of the stories we discussed already. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Adeniyi Ifetayo.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Thank you. Right, straight into the business of the day. The major story on the lips of every Nigerian on all the national dailies, the bickering between the NNPCL, the federal government, and Dangote refineries. Just yesterday, we got updates about how 16 million liters of fuel was lifted by the NNPCL from Dangote refinery, and there have been speculations in regards to the pricing. NNPCL is talking about selling at about 898 naira. There's disparity, and according to Dangote, this is based on the crude imported in dollars. Let's get your perspective. You know, we all thought that this would bring some sort of succor and relief to Nigerians, but we're seeing the possibility of the price actually jacking up, because that price is excluding other costs. So by the time other costs are added, we might be entering 900 plus as the official rate, which that's not the rate that other independent marketers will sell for. So let's get your perspective on all of this bickering in terms of pricing, even as the petrol has been lifted.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say that it's just a pity, just like our former president Buhari said, that when you try to fight corruption, corruption will fight back. I don't know whether you have a copy of the statement released by the Dangote refinery yesterday, saying that people should disregard the price that the spokesperson of NNPC released, that, and they shouldn't forget that the first set of crude oil that was supplied to each refinery, they made the payment in dollars, and they are doing the calculation. That was after that the Mr. President announced that crude oil should be sold to Dangote refinery in naira, so that it will reduce the burden. The market women, the trader, I heard Olumide saying that he's been in the bus for so many minutes, why the man was like, I'm not going to waste my fuel just on only on 4 passengers. So you can see that it just the corruption that is at play here, just to make the man who has the heart of Nigeria, who have that African spirit, to look bad in the face of the public. So I think what Dangote was trying to say, that Mr. President has set up a committee to look at the difference. Yes, you got this thing. Of course, as a businessman, he's not going to sell his fuel, making losses or loss, as it were. But they just want to look at disparity, how much the dollar was sold then. So it was on the basis of that the fuel, the first set of 16 million liters that were, released into the market yesterday or today will be sold. So doing that, I don't think it's just what's it called, NNPC spokesperson. I don't know whether it was Oga at the top that gave him the go ahead, but they are just trying to make somebody who have a good intention look bad in the face of Nigeria. So I'm sure this thing will be resolved. Like that statement said, that the public should disregard it. It was those who are hell bent to make sure that somebody who have tried to solve almost 50 years problem, of Nigerians, they want to make them to look bad, that they should relax. Mr. President has set up a committee. They are looking at the prices disparity, and of course, I'm sure it's going to come down. Just like he said, the higher the quantity demanded, the lower the price. We are going to see it in the case of Dangote refinery refining our crude oil.
Just before Olumide comes in, they always say that sometimes in every speculation or rumor, in quotes, there's always an iota of truth, right? And just as they have said we should disregard it, the NNPC on the Guardian newspaper is still insisting that the price is 898 naira per liter, which is excluding the associated cost. I would like to ask, why exactly should we, or on what grounds should the price be solely dependent on the NNPCL to fix it? Is there a reason for that? If yes, what is the reason? If no, what other strategies can be adopted in terms of price fixing?
Yes, I think NNPC just want to quickly jump on the transaction, the last transaction they had with Dangote. Don't forget that dollar in the last 2-3 months has skyrocketed like never seen before. So they want to jump on that. On the basis of these, that is what the landing cost is going to be. But mind you, the person who is in charge, who refined the whole thing, are saying no, don't jump before you look. Just there's a committee that have been set up. Yes, a pronouncement are paid for this product in dollars. You know how much it is to use naira to buy dollar and pay your supplier. And he's not the manufacturer or producer of crude oil, so he has to buy from NNPC. So NNPC was just saying, because they are the sole distributor of this refined product as at now. I'm sure as time goes on, they are going to give some marketers so that it will reduce the body, it will reduce the bureaucracy, before you get your fuel supply or refined product supply to you. So I think, just like we said, was it not last week, that communication has been one of I think one of your sister program, communication has been, or should I say miscommunication, or there's a channel where government release authentic information, where it can be verified. I'm sure if Dangote should open his mouth and say that my landing cost of this refined product will not be more than ABC, they are going to come for him. So he's allowing the Mr. President who has intervened, who has the heart of Nigeria at heart. Just like we said, that refinery alone has solved our foreign dependence of about 40%, almost 40%. And you know what it is. So it's just the power that be. Most of them have all this bureau de change. They have access to CBN to collect dollars and give it to their cronies, give it to their whoever that is working for them, or their BDC and all of that. So you'll be shocked that the number of BDC we have in the last 5-6 years has almost tripled than what we had before, all because they are profiting from these whether kickback or because of fuel swap, crude oil swap and all of that. So all this is just corruption trying to play their last card. Of course, Nigeria is going to win.
All right, thank you very much. I have two questions, and if you can, the shorter you can help me get this, we'll be able to understand what is really going on. Now, the first question is, what do you think NNPC's true intention is, being the sole buyer and distributor of this fuel? Is it that to make profit or to subsidize for Nigerians, if at all subsidy has been removed? Then secondly, if eventually the Port Harcourt refinery comes into play, will we get fuel cheaper than what it is being speculated right now, or would NNPC still maintain status quo?
Yeah, what NNPC is trying to do, I believe, is that the amount that, they are the sole distributor, the amount that was paid for this refined crude product and taking it again from Dangote. So I'm sure in the next 1 month or thereabout, the prices of fuel will still remain the same until this 16 million litre have been dispensed, or the refined product that was sold to Dangote had been utilized finally. There may be another set of products which will take effect of buying it in naira and also selling it in naira. Then the price will begin to come down. Of course, if another Port Harcourt refinery comes to play, it will definitely reduce it. Maybe let's say 10% more of dependence on forex to get our crude refined. And don't let us forget that Dangote have enough capacity to refine crude oil. But the reason what NNPC is trying to say, you will understand, there was a time they said they made profit, there was a time they said they are making losses and all of that. It's just at least to break even, that they don't lose much, at least they were able to recover their money. But of course, Dangote will say to them, he bought for them in naira. So of course, they are going to buy back in dollar rather. So they are going to buy back in dollar. Of course, then when Port Harcourt refinery comes to play, it's going to be, it will reduce price. The more the competitor, the merrier. I'm not saying they are competing, but I'm just saying it's making distribution channel, refined channel, more easier, and the prices of crude oil, fuel, PMS as it's called, will reduce.
Right. Let's move away from Dangote fuel to a rather disturbing headline as well that we can see on all the national dailies we took a look at this morning. NCOS contacts Interpol, places 281 Borno fleeing inmate on watch list. This has to do with the flooding situation in Maiduguri, where about 281 inmates at large escaped the Maiduguri Medium Security Custodial Center following the serious flooding that took place last Tuesday. Now, according to report, the NCOS spokesperson has alerted the Nigerian Immigration Service and the police force, among other security agencies, to help recapture the fleeing inmate. They have released their details according to reports, and they were able to recapture 7 of them. But this is starting to seem like a norm. We've been getting cases of, if I could use the word prison break, jail break, storm. We hear that the walls of the prison broke, inmates escaped. Someone came in, released inmates. Now flooding, inmates have escaped. Now this begs a very huge and big question on our security architecture. If people that are supposed to be in custody can escape at the slightest opportunity. I would like to get your perspective on this, considering the frequency of these incidents time and again, and the possibility of recapturing these inmates based on our past experiences.
If you continue to do the same thing and expect different results, you are just joking. You are just a joker. We know maybe quarterly, don't let me use the word quarterly, maybe biannually, maybe once in 2 years, they are going to open up a dam. Even if I believe that they should have developed a strategy, a technology to make sure the impact is not really felt or is reduced drastically. You can't just continue to have the same problem. So it has become a norm that any slightest opportunity or something happen, there will be a prison break, let me borrow your word, or a jail break or whatever it is. So is done or not that anything that is not being productive, that is not bringing in income or inflow, government tends not to pay attention to it. They try to focus on what to bring in more. No, you can't do that. I usually use an example that if you are a father in a home, you won't say that if only I'm paid for the school fees of my children, I'm less concerned about their well-being or their healthcare system or the clothes or their shelter. No, it has to be all-encompassing. There are some things, I'm sure now billions of naira is going to go down to these floods, the outcome of the flood or the causes, the destruction of property and life that were lost. It's just a pity that, and on the part of our security too, they are not proactive. In advanced world or in Western world, they usually put what they call a scenario situation. What if this thing happen? What can we do to mitigate against it? What can we do to reduce prison break or jail break? What can we do? But they just seems to be adamant or less concerned about that once it happens, you can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. I think this time around, and also the issue of data, I kept on saying it, we don't have a data, that's anything, somebody who is an inmate should be there on data basis. And you said they've released some of their information. I've not seen anyone.
According to them, they put it here. Yes, according to them, they have put it, I'm trying to get the exact newspaper. On Vanguard newspaper, it has it that federal government unveils identity of 281 fleeing inmates, recaptures 7. So Olumide also said the same thing, that if they had released it, we should be seeing it, maybe some sections of the national daily.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now it will be very difficult for them to pay media houses money. Please help us display this on your television, announce the name on TV, show it on, ads on newspaper and all of that. But just like I said, these are the sector of a nation that is not yielding money to them. So they believe that those people that were there, of course, the cost of a life in Nigeria can be measured. God just helping us. Just like Mr. Olumide said that we get to a point, even if they push you, you get to a wall. You break the wall and go inside just to still create more space. So it's just the same thing that they need to be proactive. The channel of communication must be intact, and also the issue of data to know who are the people that are being kept in correctional places
Very,
or maximum
very true.
prison, as it were. Yes.
Very important. Proactiveness. Let's be proactive and not just be reactive. That's a wonderful place to end the conversation this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Adeniyi, Ifetayo, and for sharing your thoughts with us on some of the stories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your Monday.
And you too.
Right.